everyone. We are happy to start the autumn with the 8th this year CATIA Systems Talk. My name is Gitana Strazdauske, and our topic today is Reqtify, connecting the dots between CATIA Magic and requirement management solutions for end-to-end traceability. The speaker and my guest today is Rain Grove. As requirement engineering specialist, she will give you a session where you will learn about Reqtify as an easy-to-deploy light solution to support requirements traceability and impact analysis. In the context of model-based systems engineering, she will demonstrate how Reqtify can help to produce an end-to-end traceability from stakeholders' needs down to software architecture, code, and tests. During and after the presentation, you may ask questions in the chat section. Please use this opportunity. Rain, the stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. Let me first introduce myself. So I'm Rain Grove. I got my engineering degree in 2001 from ENSEM in Nancy, east of France. I began as application engineer and next as project manager on control build tool mainly for railway projects. And since 2014, I work on system engineering in CATIA cyber system team. And I'm more specialized in requirements engineering around tools such as Reqtify or in 3D experience platform in app like requirement management, system traceability, and report generation. So let me first explain why Reqtify. So Reqtify is here to answer some challenges. And the first one is to face the growing complexity of new product program. And with ever-changing standards and regulation, managing the traceability and traceability is really a challenge. And Reqtify, as best-of-breed traceability solution, for managing the traceability for the full life cycle of a program or product is really the answer for this challenge. Second challenge is to face the diversity of processes and tools used all along the development of a project. We need to ensure the traceability even there is this diversity. And Reqtify here again is a solution because it's really quick to implement. It can adapt to most of the process, and due to the number of connectors, more than 100, it can easily connect to quite every tools which are on the market. And the last challenge, but I think the most important, is to manage impact analysis. And at the end, you need to prove your traceability, to get some proof of traceability. And it's a valuable asset, it's not perceived like this, but at the end, it's mandatory. And Reqtify, the goal of Reqtify is really to manage the coverage analysis, impact analysis, and give you some KPIs to manage your traceability all along the progress of your project. So that's why Reqtify. And I will try to explain this in context of a safety and rescue use case. And the project taken as example is from stakeholder needs in a PDF document with a system architecture which is done in CATIA Magic, how to recover these stakeholder needs into CATIA Magic when there is no data hub. This is the first challenge. Second is how to manage traceability when software architecture is also done in MATLAB. Code is embedded in a zip file with C files. Test plans are done in HTML, and we get test results coming from automatic scenario running into another file. And here the questions are how to manage the impact analysis when you receive stakeholder needs, so bottom up, top down. And what is so Reqtify, you can see here is able for all along the development of your project around different teams working with different tools to connect thanks to the connector. And here, extracting information of traceability to help you to manage this traceability. And what is really important to keep in mind is that Reqtify is here to connect your tools, but not to replace them. And in fact, how it really works, from the different connectors, we are extracting traceability information, requirements, traceability, attributes, and so on. We are defining a project configuration with documents and expected relationships, which document is supposed to cover which other. And from there, we are able to import or export documents through the Experience platform, or CATIA Magic in our case. Dashboard our project with some KPIs which are automatically extracted. Of course, manage traceability, do impact analysis, and at the end, generate reports. So let me present you the data set. As mentioned, we have stakeholder needs in PDF with a front page, table of content, and requirements with identifier, text, and attributes. CATIA Magic model with already done, so I will not enter in detail into CATIA Magic model. We have already done use cases, functional analysis, already system requirements, but stakeholder needs are missing. So we will see how we will import these stakeholder needs from DOR, from PDF into CATIA Magic. System architecture, software architecture is done in Simulink, so with modules and some state charts. Code is embedded into a zip file with some C file, and in this C file, we have some comments explaining which system requirement this C file is covering. Test plan with test cases, identifier, some configuration of tests, and which system requirements are covered by this test. And here, the log file resulting from the execution of scenarios. So from there, from this data, I will run the following scenario. From an empty project, I will add the stakeholder needs, see how to push them into CATIA Magic, create traceability from this imported stakeholder needs with the existing elements, so use case and functional analysis. Next, I will analyze the full traceability with software architecture, test plan, and so on. And from this full traceability, see how we can analyze this traceability from test point of view. So how to see which stakeholder needs are impacted by a failed test. And next, how from when we receive a new version of stakeholder needs, which elements at the end are impacted. And to conclude, I will just generate a report. So let's switch to the demonstration. So we have an empty project, and I will just here add a PDF document, so my stakeholder needs. So here I can just take my document here. I can rename the document because it will live, so it's not only V1. And from Reqtify, you are able, for example, to exclude some page. So for example, here, I mentioned that front page table of content is not important for us. So when I apply, I go back to my project. I see here my stakeholder needs, KPIs. It contains 8 requirements. And I can switch to change my point of view. So here in coverage analysis view, I have a tree view of my document with the section, requirement, text, and attributes. And if I want to get a more tabular view of my document, I can get here in requirement details, list of my requirements and the attribute in a tabular view. Now, if we go back to our scenario, we have added stakeholder needs. Now we want to add CATIA Magic model into our project to import the stakeholder needs. So I just modify my project. I add here my CATIA Magic model. This CATIA Magic model, SAR model here, is supposed to answer to cover stakeholder needs. So I create an expected relationship here. I can apply. And when I go back to Reqtify, I can see here my model here with the different elements from from CATIA Magic extracted in Reqtify. So here we can see that there is no stakeholder needs. For the moment, I don't get any stakeholder needs in my project. So here I'm just opening my project. So remind the use case, functional analysis is already done, but there is no stakeholder needs for the moment. Okay. Stakeholder needs are there. There is no stakeholder needs. So here to push these needs from PDF into CATIA Magic, I just select my CATIA Magic model, and here I just click Add High-Level Requirement. And here I just select where I want to push these stakeholder needs. And I click OK. And here I can see that 8 requirements have been created into CATIA Magic. I reload here. And when I go in CATIA Magic, I will see that now I have my stakeholder needs created here, coming from PDF documents. So at this stage, I will now create traceability in CATIA Magic. So remember, we have stakeholder needs. We have created use cases here. So now I need to create some traceability. So here I will just create some dummy, I don't know why, traceability. Sorry, it's live. So let me just, it's working in fact. Here, so here I just creating some dummy traceability, trying to cover at least each stakeholder needs. And when I save here, I can see in Reqtify that my SAR model has been updated and Reqtify asked me to update. And I can see here that all my stakeholder needs are covered. I can see it here from the coverage view. So when I select a requirement, I see which element of CATIA Magic model is covering these needs. Or I can switch to graphical view here, where I see all my CATIA Magic model and here graphically my traceability. Here you can see that you have all the SAR model. Maybe getting just some part of this model would be easier to make easier the analysis of the traceability. And here again, Reqtify helps you to just, as you were excluding some page, you can, with CATIA Magic, just selecting a dedicated package. And here, so instead of analyzing the full model, you can just extract use case package. And here your traceability is easier to read, at least. So let me switch now to the full traceability. So here I have prepared a project with already done extraction of dedicated package, so use cases, functional analysis, subsystem, system requirements. We have our test plan in HTML and the software architecture in Simulink. Here, I did the traceability from use case to stakeholder needs, but I didn't create it yet traceability with a black box. So here, problem domain, sorry, I can create here again. So some dummy traceability from stakeholder needs to my, so maybe it's working. Okay, I try to get at least all my stakeholder needs covered. Okay. And when I save my model here, when I go back to Reqtify, it asks me to reload. And I can see that now all my needs are covered by at least one functional element of functional analysis, subsystem, and so on. So let me now just complete my project with the code. So here, to add some code, I just create a new document in Reqtify. So code. Here, I choose how to extract this information. So I use code. And here, you can see that I can access to remote documents. So, for example, into which are hosted in Enovia, Git, SVN, or here, embedded into a zip file. And if I select zip here, I'm able to search here my PDF, my zip file containing the code. And here I can apply. And here, using this type of analysis, extracting the information, Reqtify detects that, in fact, there is coverage to software architecture and asks me if I want to create this channel of expected relationship. I say yes. And in fact, if I go in my project, I can see now traceability extracted automatically. So I can go back to my view, coverage view. Here, when I select an element, a needs, I see all the direct downstream elements, traceability. So here I can see how this stakeholder needs is covered by use case, functional analysis, and subsystem. But I don't go until the test. If I want to get all the traceability information downstream, I can switch to impact analysis. And here I see all the full impacts of a dedicated of my selection. So here, for example, I see that this stakeholder needs is covered, tested at the end by at least this test. Or I can switch to graphical view. And here in this graphical view, you can see it's huge. You can use also filter to simplify your view, hide empty section and so on. And here you can see when you select an element, all the impact of this specific element. So if you want to get only one, you can see here, just select the impact of this one. So here it's dummy traceability. Everything is really, there is lots of traceability. But if you get to see the bottom-up traceability, if you select a test, you can see here all the impacted. So this test is not covering any stakeholder needs. So maybe there is an error. Here we can see that this one is covering these two stakeholder needs. But here what we can see is that, in fact, we don't have taken into account the test results. So here for this test, we don't have any results. So for that, Reqtify enable to add, overload a document with a modification document. And here I will create a modification document, taking into account the results, the test log. And here I will just take this test log into account. And when I apply here, I can see here the test results for my test. So at this step, I will just try to analyze my traceability from test results point of view. So for that, we have capability here just to see which tests are failed or not. Here again, just analyzing it's failed. So at the end, I need to look at this system requirement, this functional analysis element, and this subsystem. And these two stakeholder needs are not answered, validated. You can do like this, or you can also use some filter. So Reqtify enable to define filter. And here you can filter your view on test results. So here you can see just the two tests which are not, which are failed, in fact. And Reqtify enables to do that with your test results. So here we switch to OK results. And what we can see is here we have 40%. Here, 40% of system requirements are covered by a test case. But if we change the test analysis from display to analysis, meaning that I want to take into account this filtering into my analysis, I can see that here only 30% of system requirements are covered by a test which is passed. So 30% of system requirements are really validated. So you can use this kind of filter to help you to validate your traceability, to analyze your traceability in a different way. Here, our traceability is quite established, and we receive a new stakeholder needs. So here, we switch to this element step of demonstration. So before we integrate the new stakeholder needs, we can do a snapshot. A snapshot is a kind of photograph or project. So here I can name it stakeholder needs version 1. So here I take a snapshot. And once your traceability is quite established, you can activate suspicious links. And suspicious links is a way to detect a change into upstream or downstream requirements so as to alert you, highlight the fact that something has changed between your two requirements and maybe the link is no more valid. So now I'm ready to take into account the new version of stakeholder needs. To do so, I just here select the new version of my stakeholder needs. Here, I can click OK. And if I switch to snapshot, here, when I select a snapshot, I compare my snapshot with the current version of my project. And here I can see that there is a new requirement into my stakeholder needs. Here, my stakeholder needs has been, modified. Here. And when I select the text here, I can see the old version of my text, my new version of text, or I can just use comparison. So I see that this part is new. And for stakeholder 5, I can see that criticality has moved from low to medium. So if I go in my project now, I can see that my ratio has decreased because now I have a new stakeholder needs into my needs document. And into graphical view, I can see now here that there is some red bullet here. So this is suspicious links. So you can navigate into your suspicious link here. And you can here see, for example, for this modified, we know that it was a modified requirement, that this link is marked as suspicious. And you need now to take this new version of stakeholder needs and push it into CATIA Magic to analyze this modification into CATIA Magic and take it into account. And to do so here we can go in here and ask again to add high-level requirements. So here I just select again my stakeholder needs. I ask to push it. I click OK. And here I can see that a new requirement has been created into CATIA Magic and 2 has been modified. So I want to reload. And now in CATIA Magic, I look at this new needs or modify needs, and I can do modification into my functional analysis, into my model, to take into account these new needs, these modified needs, and now create some traceability with the existing, the new requirement. I can save. And when I go back to Reqtify, here I can see that now 100% of my needs are covered by my use cases. And here, once it's done, I can now just filter on selection. And because I know that now there is no suspicion, I can just unmark my suspicious list. At this step, we have a project which is quite stable. So now we can generate traceability reports for our standard certification elements. So here, Reqtify is delivered with already done model of reports. So extracting here, in this case, some traceability information. Here, I can generate it into our Excel, PDF, Word, HTML. So you can choose your document type, and Reqtify extract the information from the project into here your Word document. So here we have a traceability matrix with our subsystem is covered by functional analysis. Our functional analysis is covering subsystem. Stakeholder needs is covered by functional analysis, and so on. So this for all cross-reference elements. So at this step, demonstration is finished. So let me just conclude. We have seen that Reqtify helps you to manage the traceability for the full life cycle of your project. It can help you to import-export requirements for better collaboration. Here, really to take the PDF requirements from PDF from Reqtify to CATIA Magic. You have seen that it's not intrusive. When you need to do some modification, I was switching to CATIA Magic. So I stay in CATIA Magic and Reqtify recovers in the modification. It's quite open. There is more than 100 connectors. It's flexible. Here again, can adapt to most of the process. It's quick and easy to implement and adopt. And thanks to these different previous points, we can say that there is a fast return on investment. And at the end, it helps you to be compliant with the safety standards. This is for the presentation. Now, if you have questions, I would be happy to answer it.
Thanks, Rain. It was really good to hear you here. Yes, we have questions. And first question was, I will show you and I will read. Just to clarify, when you say CATIA Magic, so is it the same for Cameo and Magic Draw?
Yes. Yes, it's the same.
Okay, good. So the other question is from Francesco Matraxia. Would it possible to customize how the requirements are imported at high-level requirements in CATIA Magic, some kind of schema map like Data Hub with doors?
Yes, you can choose on which kind of prototype you want to push it, yes.
Okay, and we have another question from our audience. Gavin Banks asks, what is the benefit of Reqtify over systems traceability, systems synthesis? Both tools seem very similar.
In fact, the idea is similar, so managing traceability. The difference is Reqtify is standalone, and you will not get the same feature depending on if you are in Reqtify or in system traceability. In system traceability, you will be able to manage links, internal links of the platform. You will be able to manage your scope in lifecycle. In Reqtify, there is no configuration management, so you need to get another tool. And in 3D Experience platform, you have all the collaboration available.
Okay, thanks. And we have another question from the same person, from Francesco. And the GUI of Reqtify show the differences between two versions of the same requirement if the changes regard the text field of the requirement and in case of changes in some attribute of the requirement. So maybe you can comment this.
Yes, in fact, the comparison take into account all traceability information. So when you take information from your source document, you define which element you want to extract. So which attribute, which chapter, which requirement. And if this information is extracted by Reqtify, it will appear into the comparison.
Okay, so I think we don't have, I don't see any other questions for you. So thanks a lot for your time, for your presentation, and thanks audience for your questions, for listening. You were very active. You can find the replay of this session in the community. You see the link in your screens. go.3ds.com/cyber.systems. Please visit here and you will find lots of interesting information related to Reqtify, CATIA Magic, and all cyber systems portfolio. So thanks a lot, Rain. I think that you did a great job here. So thanks a lot. And I will meet everyone in 2 weeks with our 9th this year CATIA Systems talk. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.